Thank you for staying with us. You're still watching Work with Nigeria. It's still a beautiful Wednesday morning. And right about now, it's time for newspaper headlines. And I have with me our analyst, Mike Masikana.
You people should take up your analysis in this place. All right.
Okay, so now we want to start with the first newspaper I have here is The Punch. And the major headlines here says Ajaero's alleged assault. Now, federal government kicks labor, strike, records partial compliance for the riders. We have Tinubu not behind attack on Ajaero, escalating strike nationwide, unreasonable. We have that from AGF's office. Lagos, Rivers, Kwara, Bauchi, workers shun labor, Kano, Edo, Delta, Akwa Ibom, others comply. We'll come back to that. At the top left here, we have elections over, reform, economy now, and PAN tells Tinubu. We have that on page 7. CBN extends old Naira notes deadline indefinitely. We have that on page 11. Atiku canvasses merger to oust APC. We have that on 7. And right there beside the image, we have 35 million Naira needed to return body of Nigerian student ministry. We have that on page 7. Sacks agencies, members sue Adeleke, demands 2 billion Naira. Now back to the major headlines. Mike, I think, what do you have to say about this strike?
It's for the labor union, for NLC, they will feel slighted that their president was assaulted, and they have a right to feel so. But going as far as maybe calling for a strike from the body might be a bit too far. So he can take, for me, he can take the matter to court, doing some kind of way, but some people might justify it, but I don't think in the case of where the economy is involved, and then the industrial court has given an injunction that they cannot go on strike, and they are liable to the industrial court. So that brings up the whole system here and the whole judiciary, and how we react or how we relate with the law, as it were. We can be, it's not just about those at the top or those, the president and all of that. Okay, now a body, a trade union and all of that, you can't even listen to the injunction from the industrial court. So that's it. So there's quite a lot there. I understand being slighted that your president was assaulted, but that could be a personal issue. You take them up, or you take that particular, that person or that unit up in a court of law or something. I think it's absolutely ridiculous,
right? Because first of all, as you said, an injunction, a court order was given. First of all, you ignore it, you still assemble for the strike, and then something happens to your president. And then because of that, because you're put in a position where you can affect certain things, you decide to put a total economy of an entire country going through so much economically on pause, to massage your ego, to show that you have power. And then one of the spokespersons literally came out to say, oh yeah, we allowed certain sectors to work, but if we can say the strike is success. That is that.
You see, and considering that a former president of ANLC became a governor, and and was part of politics and all of that, as it were. The point is, this is the kind of attitude. Imagine this kind of person tomorrow wants to be a governor or a minister or something. Look at the kind of attitude he's carrying from a labor union.
It's really, it doesn't make sense to me. It's just really, it's annoying. Anyways, you like to take the next paper.
All right, Daily Trust here. I inherited serious liabilities from my predecessors, Tinubu. No magic wand for economic crisis. CBN Governor FG has run out of ideas. Economics? Okay. Holders and speculators responsible for Forex crisis. And it's still all about the economy and all of that. Above that particular headline there, just below the paper flag, anxiety in Kano Plateau ahead appeal court judgments, and Article 6 measure of opposition parties to checkmate APC. The passengers evacuated as Port Harcourt-bound aircraft overshoots runway. Of course, this is on the Daily Trust, which I am taking at the moment. We also see here, Navy combs Lagos waters, intercepts boats carrying 90 drums of PMS. Will tap into $2 trillion Islamic finance market, says the federal government. Labor strike cripples activities in Abuja and the states, like what's spoken of earlier. And, okay, so, one I just want to mention is just talking about the measure of opposition parties to checkmate APC. it's politics. Is as it were. The APC is a measure of parties. As at that
As
time,
a-
they were opposition.
Yeah.
That's what the APC was. So
Yeah.
it's okay to want to think about that. And then, but my point is, let us have democracy as it is. There will always be an opposition. Opposition is
Definitely,
necessary
yes.
for the wheels of democracy
Yes,
to run well.
yes.
So, you know, whatever they can do, they should do. That is within legal means. So all of that on the front page of the Daily Trust.
Of Daily Trust, okay. I actually wanted to also mention Navy about the naval situation here,
Okay.
where they intercept boats carrying 90 drums of PMS. I think there are certain issues in this. I think this is one of the issues in these countries that can be stopped, but happen to not be because people are not paying close enough attention. Where I used to live, like it wasn't far away from the ocean, and then right there during my morning walks, we literally see the people bunkering, see them
Bunkering and all of that.
this 50 gallons of kegs, throwing them aboard and everything. See tiny boys jumping to go and bring it, and then they were literally, there was military presence there, so they knew what was happening.
They knew what was happening.
But
Of
like
course.
nothing is just being done about it. So I just feel, but then again, this is impressive to actually see that actually happens. But it's now what happens to the fuel that has been that has literally been intercepted, by the way. Anyways, moving on, we have the Guardian newspaper here. We have for the major headline, 1 year after takeover of Disco, darkness, liquidity crisis persist. We have that from Amcon, banks bailouts. Right there besides the image, we have, again, SEC moves to reduce 190 billion naira unclaimed dividends. We have that on page 15. Under that, we have Zelensky accuses Russia of benefiting from Israel-Hamas war. And to the left of that, we have, to the image there, we have compliance defiance as NLC TUC indefinite strike kicks off, page 6. Below that, we have a TCU 6 coalition of opposition parties cautions against slide to one-party dictatorship. We have that on page 3. And below, we have fortifying custodial centers to keep inmates safe, deter will-be attackers. I don't know if there's any of those you want to talk about.
No, darkness, Disco. Do you have lights?
No, we haven't had lights since, I think, yesterday. And that's very unlike, because normally we have lights through the night. But like, as that rain, in fact, no, before the rain started, light just
So the lights came, but it has become ambiguous since that yesterday. So I wasn't expecting it because I heard that the electricity discos are part of the strike and all of that.
Oh,
But you see, what I want to talk about is how, of recent, over the past 6 months, average electricity generation is just about 4,000 megawatts. On a normal day, that 4,000 megawatts is what you should use to power maybe mainland alone.
Yeah, actually.
Maybe Lagos mainland. That 4,000 that is powering the whole country.
Yeah.
We have cities in countries, in first world countries, in developed nations, cities that are powered, by 10, 12,000 megawatts. States, so 10. So you have cities being powered by double what our nation is doing averagely at this point in time as a whole. And considering that as a country, you know, this is where we are. There's water. There is our major power generation now is water.
Yes, water.
Hydro,
Yes, with the-
hydroelectric, you
Yes.
know, power generation. And then there's also solar. We have the sun like no other continent. We should be
So
able...
now, another thing, so when I talk about issues that I feel can be addressed but have been left unattended, this is actually one of it. Because even aside all this thing you're talking about, it's just simple. Go to a first world country, get a specialist or something to come in and literally do an analysis of what's happening in the past situation, draw up and just follow through with it. That's all. Because we have all our, most of our politicians and most of our, people in those positions traveling to these other countries and literally
we say that.
understand. So they understand that. So, why are we still here? See, Mike, this
it's the Nigerian or the African. You know, we're just I don't know how to say it. Why we are too greedy and too wicked to each other? Because it's not like we cannot do these things.
We totally can. So now we actually have to quickly take the Nation newspaper. We have Shomole to Ajaero Osifo, strike is misplaced priority. Thank you. Totally accurate. At the top of that, we have blue economy to net $20 billion yearly, says Oyetola. We have that on page 4. 2 million jobs to be created. We have stock market risks, 222.2 billion naira loss to Union Bank's delisting. We have that on page 7. Plane overshoots runway at Port Harcourt Airport. Oando gets $800 million for NAOC acquisition. We have that on page 6 and page 7, respectively. With the image there to the left, we have full partial compliance in states. CONUA opts out, affiliates unions join. Below we have Nigeria, others gets $50 billion IDB support. And yeah, that's all we have at the top of the nation's paper.